stay connected, bring value, help each other. That's the other thing is it's reciprocal. We have to help each other and we have to raise each other. And that's the secret. And the more you do that, I have to say, the more opportunities come along. So my path has been really around healthcare. I started out of university in the pharmaceutical industry and spent about 26 years working in Canada and globally with Bayer and Sanofi, primarily in commercial roles, sales and marketing, but particularly in fascinating areas like women's health, multiple sclerosis, oncology. This really raised my interest level in healthcare as well as patient care and the patient experience. Post-pharma, I spent about 7 years working for myself and also doing a lot of nonprofit work, as well as leading 2 nonprofit health organizations with the Canadian Foundation with Women's Health, as well as with Cystic Fibrosis Canada. And that was very pivotal for me, particularly because while I was doing that, I was also doing my ICD program where I was learning experience about being a corporate board of director. My goal at the end of the day was to eventually serve on boards. And serving as CEO at the Women's Health Foundation, which was an area I knew very well in women's health, and then in Cystic Fibrosis Canada, where my family is touched by CF, it allowed me to not only lead the organizations, but it allowed me to work closely with the board of directors, recruit board of directors, prepare best governance practices. And along the way, opportunities came along. Because of my background in women's health, I started with my first private board in women's health, and then my first public board in women's health, and that would have been around 2015. Most of the boards I serve on, today I serve on 7 boards, 3 of which are public boards, and all in healthcare with extended care, and that's primarily focused on long-term care and home care. Aurora Cannabis, which is primarily medical cannabis around the world, as well as HLS Pharma in cardiovascular, which I worked in my past, as well as areas in mental health, which I have had worked in the past as well. And in addition to that, I work with 3 private boards. One is Acerta. We service the Ontario Dental Program as well as the Ontario Autism Program. 2 other startups, one in the neuroplastogen space for mental health. And in addition to that, a startup which is preparing and developing a new drug for Parkinson's disease. So all in all, I'm busy with 6 incredibly fascinating boards, and I'm just passionate about not only the governance component of it, but also how we're changing the lives of people. I also serve on the National Research Council of Canada, which touches all industries across Canada. In addition to that, what I can share is I've evolved with the boards I'm serving on. Most of the boards, the public boards I've served on, I've been serving for at least a minimum of 5 years. And my role has elevated with time. And in most of the boards, I'm either chair of a committee or chair of a board. And that I have found to be gratifying as well. I love what I do. I get to work with incredibly intelligent, inspiring people. And I hope I can continue doing what I'm doing for as long as I can. I think the first thing one needs to think about, because I've navigated it before I even got onto a private board, I started nonprofit. I served on the board of the Breast Cancer Foundation, Providence Healthcare, St. Joe's Hospital. And again, these are wonderful, wonderful institutions to be part of, particularly to learn best practices around governance. When you're seeking opportunities, seek out things you're passionate about. So that's the first thing. And make sure you know what you want, because there's lots of different avenues you can take. Make sure you know your value proposition. So in my case, what I was bringing is my women's health background, my patient care focus, and I've touched on multiple areas of health. So I was bringing that breadth. as time has evolved, I had always an interest in human resources. And so that came naturally along with the work that I've been doing on boards, plus the governance and making sure we're the best in what we're doing, in particular, how we behave ethically as leaders of organizations as a board. So keeping those two things in mind, knowing what you want, knowing what you're going to bring, then who do you talk to? If I look at my approach and my experience, I would start by saying 60% of the boards I'm serving on was through my connections. So that's very important because it tells you need to make sure you let people know that you're connected with what your interest is. And they need to know what value proposition you're bringing to a board. And that has to be succinct and clear so people clearly can communicate that to others when they're advocating for you to serve on a board. Women Get on Board, I'll start there, has been a fabulous forum to help women elevate their own value propositions through the mentorship program with getting board ready and the networking in particular and helping each other. I think that it's key to keep that consistent and stay connected. That's the key. You can't just go in a little bit and then hope something comes. It takes patience, it takes nurturing, and it takes care. The other areas that you can consider is like ICD. They have ongoing, if you're a member of ICD, they share opportunities to serve on board. Women Get on Board also does so. You can look at other avenues. If you're looking at the nonprofit sector, Charity Village also promotes board opportunities. LinkedIn promotes board opportunities. But I would say get out, meet people, and often investigate companies if you're really interested in a certain area. And I'll give you another example. Dialogue is a company in virtual care and employee assistance program, mental health support. I was recruited to that board because about a year before, I noticed someone I worked with who was a former VP of HR with the company I worked with. He was their VP of HR. And I said, I really love the work that you guys are doing in virtual care. And I just said, if you're ever looking for someone with my past experience, let me know. The next thing you know, I get a phone call from a recruiter. And the recruiter says, I'm looking for a board of director. Your name was recommended to us. I can't tell you who the company is, but we'd like to talk to you. Went through the interview process, was offered the opportunity. And later I asked, where did you get my name? And they said, through that VP of HR. So it just shows you sometimes you don't even know these beautiful moments of magic happen where people provide recommendations and you don't even know the threads until you really investigate. How did that happen? And so all I'm saying is magic does happen, but we have to be there to create that magic. Say number one is prepare. Learn as much as you can about the company. Learn about who serves on the board. Read their annual reports. Sometimes the companies are private. You can't get all the information. Then reach out to customers. Find out more about the company. Secondly, there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people, but go in and be confident about what you're bringing to the board. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure you're able to communicate and articulate your value and your offering to the board and where you've been successful. Women sometimes are shy to express their achievements. I would just say be proud, really reflect and be proud to share what you've achieved. Thirdly, be authentic, be yourself. What I've discovered around boards is they're so human. Yes, they're very business, but they're also very human. And that's very important because fit on the board is a key element. And how will this person fit with the current board? So those would be my key suggestions as you prepare for an interview. And I would finally say, follow up with a thank you, because you never know, this may lead to another opportunity. Even if you don't get the opportunity, it may lead to another opportunity because other directors met you and may say, oh, this person may be really suitable for this other board I work with. So keep the doors open. When I went through the ICD program, they said experience was key. So when you're going through that program, you may have your executive experience behind you, and you may have some board exposure and board experience. However, you need to get a basic grounding, and that's going back to how can you get that while you prepare for that next step of getting on a private or public board. And the nonprofit sector, and or the other option, and for example, I participate with the University of Toronto's one of their incubators. It's called the Hatchery, where they invite advisors to come in and help build businesses. I mean, that's another area where you can bring expertise and get that experience. So find those avenues that will build that portfolio of experience to get you on the board. So that would be my first thing. So it takes time, be patient. The world we're living in is so uncertain, and the circumstances I've experienced on all the boards are unique and different and very fascinating at the same time. Not only are we bringing our judgments and opinions and insights, we're also navigating, moving businesses forward with all this change happening. So I would just say, be open-minded to the speed of change, where organizations are going, be forward-thinking, get out of the weeds, think about where we're going. And I would say the biggest learning too is really think about the risks. There's tons of opportunities to consider and be focused, but also think about the risks along the way so that you're prepared to navigate those risks as well. And finally, I would say enjoy the ride, enjoy the learning, because every experience and every meeting and every day you serve on the board is, I would say, inspiring personally.